founder of USANA. Come with me.
Okay.
Yes. And let me call. This is the place.
Welcome. How you doing? Okay.
Hello.
Oh, we're good. We're just having a tour.
Let's take a picture.
So, kind of get things started, my name is Ben Raskin. I'm one of the writers that work for here at USANA. In addition to writing a lot of the literature that you guys receive, both as emails, the sales tools that you use to build your business, as well as social shareables and stuff like that, me or someone on my team has probably had a hand on that. So we probably participated in doing that. In addition, we're the team that helped do the launch with India for all the communications. So, as you guys know, India has been launched this year, sometime this year, and anyway, that'll be our 25th market. And so it's a really, really cool department that I work in, and mostly because we get to touch as many people as possible in the entire company. A lot of the stuff that we develop is actually used for your particular markets. And I work very closely with the Canadian market with Sabina, what is her name? Sabina Leone and Rebecca McCoppin, who are two folks that do give you guys a lot of the tools for you guys to be successful there. But that all being said, the most important person here at USANA, of course, is our founder, Dr. Wentz. And before USANA was USANA, it used to be Gold Laboratories, which was up at the University of Utah. And Dr. Wentz, oh, pardon me.
Sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry. That's good.
Yeah, okay. A great day.
See you. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Before Dr. Wentz founded USANA, he used to run something called the Gold Laboratories, and that was done up at the University of Utah, which has a big research park. In fact, they even have a Nobel Prize-winning chemist that was up there, Mario Caprioretta. Anyway, Dr. Wentz started this whole thing based upon cellular nutrition. And as an immunologist and microbiologist, he knew that the importance of the cell, and he basically became laser focused on nourishing cells. And so the technology that's been developed over the last 30 years has a lot to do with the fact that healthy cells equal healthy people. And it's very much a direct correlation between that. But because of pollutions, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, and so many other external factors, is that basically Cell Essentials and the other products that we develop here is to help mitigate people with poor diets. You have to have a decent diet for this to work, but it's basically having good food in, good nutritionals, good supplementation, plus our optimizers can lead for an optimal life. And so Dr. Wentz, for many things, super duper smart guy. He's getting older, he's kind of transitioning out a little bit with USANA here, but nonetheless, he's still the visionary who directs most of the stuff that we do here. And I've been lucky enough to meet him twice. Once was a really cool encounter, the second time was not so cool because we both made fun of a baseball team. So he's kind of a down-to-earth dude. He was a Chicago Cubs fan, and I hate the Cubs. And I made the mistake of telling him that. Well, I'm a San Diego Padres fan, so it's like, I don't like the Cubs. But anyway, really smart. And the best part about Dr. Wentz is that he hired people like Kevin Guest, who is our old CEO, and Kevin's hired Jim Brown. And so the leadership here at USANA it could not be better. And I'll tell you from my perspective as just a writer on the team and the communication side, is that we work with good people because we know that we're supporting and helping good people out in the field. But anyway, we're going to come down this way here.
I'm jealous of your guys' cool backpacks.
I'm going to touch on this for a second. And sustainability, bless you. Sustainability these days is actually just sort of baked into all corporations' cakes. It's something you actually have to do. And I think we all are in agreement that we don't want to be putting out a bunch of pollutants, and we want to make sure that we're recycling and we're doing best practices that protect the environment. But in addition to sustainability, it also involves taking care of the people that work for these particular companies. And because direct sales is part of our home office's attraction, we have a laser-like focus on making sure the people who are out selling, introducing and selling USANA to folks are being taken care of as the best they can. And so the goal, which was laid out by Kevin Guest, was always like, take care of the people, produce great products, it'll take care of the planet. And we're making lots of steps to becoming more sustainable in terms of recycling. You won't be able to see this on this particular tour. You have to go outside, but on our roof, I think we have something like 1,600 solar panels. Some of that neighborhood. It might be
1,700.
So 1,700 solar panels. And that offsets a lot of the cost of the electrical bills that go into the manufacturing facility here. So our goal is to be net zero. We're not quite there yet, but we're trying to get there somewhere around 2050. And it takes time to get there, but they're making the steps today to do that. And of course, this is always a really fun, this is one of those parts of the tour where we always go like, we have 25 different markets, including India. And of course, my favorite one's right there in the top middle. But I'll tell you this though, from a communication standpoint, the team that I work on, we break up the world into two different groups. And so we have US, Canada, Mexico, Colombia. Where's Colombia?
Right there.
Yeah, Colombia, and EU,
Europe,
UK, and then Europe. So that's one market that we kind of, in the communication team, we focus on this. And then we have our AP market, our Asian Pacific markets, which is all the other markets in there that I mentioned, And so what's really cool is that there's a lot of parallels between the manufacturing of some of these products that go into these certain countries. Like, for example, US and Canada are exactly the same, And so we get to talk about stuff in the exact same way. There's a couple of regulatory things you can't exactly do. Here in the United States, it's actually a little more restrictive. But what's really cool about all this is that USANA is held to such an incredibly high standard that because US does a lot, we're home office and we do this stuff here. The FDA holds us to a higher standard than other markets. And so the products that, I'm not picking on Hong Kong for any reason, but Hong Kong has much lower standards that they'll accept. We manufacture to the highest standards, so Hong Kong is getting the same exact high standards. China is being manufactured at the same high standard. What works here in the US, which is one of the more regulated markets in the entire USANA family, is with the exact same baseline for the rest of the world. And so you can always feel really confident about the high quality ingredients, the high quality ingredients are going to high quality products and being held to that standards. And here in the US, we have things, the FDA, I'm sure you guys have heard of, but SEC, which is the Securities Exchange Commission, that's where they trade stocks online. For us to remain compliant, we're on the stock exchange. We're trading, under USANA, and at that highest standard, it's like we have to be compliant financially, environmentally with EPA, as well with the FDA with the products that we produce here. So you should feel really confident that this is a super duper high quality product.
Do you have a question?
So how
Yes.
often do they actually do that compliant for the FDA? and
This
all of the others?
non-stop. This is something that's going on consistently. Quality assurance. Quality assurance is the group and they're building it to make sure the ingredients are at the top level. And then quality something else. I can't remember. There's another name for it. But they have their departments downstairs and we'll come by that. But this gets regularly tested. About every 6 weeks, my team gets a new updated report from the FDA. And so, I'll tell you that sometimes it pulls our hair out because we have to change how we write about certain things. And if you ever see things written kind of weird, non-traditional, I'm not saying like not English, but you know what I mean? Like, well, that reads a little weird.
Yeah, it does make sense.
It's like,
It makes
oh,
sense.
to this support a healthier microbiome by supporting, it's like if it has a little like sing-songy kind of stuff, it's because we're trying to ride that FDA wave. But it gets updated literally probably about every 6-7 weeks. I'll get a document saying this is what you can talk about with all our products from BioOmega all the way down to Cell Centrals.
Hi, product-wise, so do we have a manufacturing company in China?
Yes, we have two.
So, okay, two?
Two, we have one in the US and one in China.
Okay, and then products in Asia, especially Philippines, are they coming from China or US?
US. China only manufactures for China.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know because I really have a lot of those questions. Okay.
Yeah. China is its own animal, and so they can only
So they produce there and they just sell it in the
In China.
Republic of China.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, how you guys doing? Hi, how are you? Hello. I'm sorry, we got a tour here. We'll slide by while you slide through.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, are you going this way? We're going this way. Okay. Come with me, y'all. Have a great day.
Yeah, like
No, that's a good question. So, Kelly over here. Hi, how are you? We're gonna go right here. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Because when I do present people and everything, and I have clients in Asia as well and in Europe, and then knowing that there is a manufacturing company in China, so I don't know what to answer. So now I know.
So the way it works in China, Western companies like USANA can't own the facilities over there. We lease the property,
Yeah.
because China is China, and they are different. They are a different. I mean, animal that in
Yeah,
a polite
exactly.
way. And so the company that runs out of China is actually called Baby Care. And so when you
Oh,
sell,
that's what I've been saying, baby
Yeah.
care. So that's, okay.
so Baby Care was a formula like making breast, like a baby formula back in, I don't even know what, like 19, I don't know the year on this one. It's like 2000, 2001, something
Yeah,
like that.
okay.
But anyway, because they already had a manufacturing facility to make baby products, we were able to purchase that property and then you able to convert it into
Into
a supplement and vitamin company.
Okay,
And
got
so when we say Baby Care here, we're actually talking about China.
To China.
And then, but China, they do not sell outside of China. And
Okay.
the other component to people know is that USANA has a very high Chinese market, and so over about 50% of our gross sales do come from China. And
Well,
so
it's like what, 1/3 or how part of
50
the world is the
50,
population?
literally China is 50% of our business. And so
It's also the population in the world. They're big.
it's huge.
Yeah.
And also with adding India here, so we've got
that's
China
right.
with India, so the two largest nations on the planet in terms of population will be there.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
excited to see what happens with India,
Yeah.
and it should be opening sometime. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hello, Ben. Doing great. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I don't know what he does, but he's one of my favorite people in science. And Greg, you know that's true. I think it's really impressive what they've done, and also even with the pandemic and the lockout, China went really strict with it, and so we went long stretches without we kept the place, everybody employed and kept working, but we weren't manufacturing at that time, and so it's been kind of as all businesses can experience, it was really challenging during that time. We'll move on to this here. This is something I get lucky about. So I host our podcast, Let's Go with USANA, and you'll find it's something you'll see in your newsletter. You'll also be a little blurb at the very bottom of there. But one of the cool things I get to do with that is I get to interview a lot of our athletes, and USANA is absolutely kicking butt when it comes to athletic side. If we were an actual nation, USANA would have taken 5th in the medal count last year in the Olympics. And so they're held to such a high standard with this is that there's $1 million guarantee for any athlete who takes USANA supplements and tests against the IOC's drug testing claim. USANA will give them $1 million. And to date, we've never had to do that, and yet we still won 531 medals. And so a lot of the sports that we participate in are winter sports. One of your guys is from Canada, Alex Kopax, who's one of my favorites. I've been able to interview him twice. He took gold in the double bobsled, tied the Germans exact same time, winning a gold medal. And Alex is a beast. He's about my height, but he doesn't carry any of this around. Super smart dude. He's an engineer, very smart, very passionate. And Alex is just like almost everybody else who's been associated with USANA, especially with our athletes. And they've done everything from the skiing side to swimmers. And I wish I knew the names of some of the other athletes with this, but it's very impressive. And the fact that they come over and over again to USANA for their supplementation, these athletes at the very highest level, gives me a lot of assurance that this is enjoyed both by people trying to make a small difference in their life and those trying to participate at the highest level.
Question?
Yes.
So the athletes, are their supplements free or they're buying it, or how does it work?
Mixed bag, not exactly sure. I know some people get it for free, and I think some others have to pay for it. That's a very good question. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because we try to promote that as well, like athletes trust USANA. Are they getting paid, or that's?
I'm pretty sure they get the supplements are free. I don't know who gets paid.
Okay.
Some of them
I
do,
just
but
wanna
I don't know that. But I will tell you this: we do have the athletes booth down at the Salt Palace. Go talk to Jason Macy there. He's a short dude with a beard. He'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
And a lot of the athletes will be there.
Yeah,
So-
because okay.
No, it's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Hey, Mark,
Hey. Hi. I'll get it.
do you want to grab a picture of my group?
What's that?
Want to grab a picture of the best group here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello, Mark.
Let's get in here.
Welcome, everyone.
Mark works in our studios, and he's one of our creative design guys too.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
So that's a professional photographer. You only take one. No, I'm just good. I take a few. Just, which one is better? Okay.
Frame it, click it, print it, Mark. No, that's actually a really good question. I don't know the answer to
Because
that.
I've been when you do a presentation, you presented the athletes trust USANA, then there comes the questions.
So this is obviously a little. I am actually going to throw this to Laura for one kiosk. So you're in charge of this one. Come over here. Hang back, come up. You're walking. Where
Okay.
we are stopping.
So this
Laura,
is
take
the
over.
customer service area. So a lot of the times we're working remote still, but we are rotating one Tuesday a month between teams. So every Tuesday there are customer service representatives in the office to make it feel a little more homey, you know, and everybody's in here. So our customer service teams speak, there are 13 teams around the world and they speak 11 official languages. They take about 18,717 calls, but that's excluding China. So worldwide, the USANA email team, they respond to about 3,000 emails each week.
So stop emailing them.
No, but something that's really
And I believe, like, you have to send an email for paperwork. And
yeah, for the
Yeah.
associates, for the paper trail
Yes,
and stuff.
exactly.
Exactly. So there is a button on the hub. They were supposed to have a picture of it, but there's a feedback button that they really want you guys to start utilizing. If you guys have problems on the hub, there is a feedback button. It was supposed to be here, and it tells them exactly what time you had the problem, and we have a really awesome program that we can actually go back and see your guys' sessions to be able to reduplicate the errors, and so they will respond to every single time somebody presses that feedback button. They will respond.
Anyway, so Laura, the reason why we brought Laura up here is that she's one of our VIP customer service agents.
Oh, if Laura answered the phone.
She's what we call Miss Fancy Pants. What we got up here, Laura?
So this is where you're going to talk to them about the USANA green. Up here. They did take down the customer service pictures, though. I know that was the favorite.
Oh,
person.
That's a
yeah.
bummer.
There's only the supervisors now. So,
The management team.
Hey, I know Aaron Grow. I know Susie Derber
I
too.
think I know these people.
I know most of these people. Who's this?
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom.
That's
Okay.
my mom.
Hello, Mom.
What are we talking about here? Should I look at my script?
So over here is where you're going to talk about the green.
Oh, we can talk about that. All right, what are we doing over here?
And the parking lot melting the snow.
It's the first time I've done the tour.
Oh, but very great job.
Doing great.
Oh, good.
Amazing.
Hey,
Hey, welcome everybody.
this is my friend
Hello.
Connie.
Hi.
This is a bunch of people from Toronto.
Yeah, you all.
So this ties back to what we were talking about down in the basement, you know, and with the, I guess it was the 1,700 solar panels that Laura was talking about and stuff like that. So look at, when we got our shipments to Busan.
How many solar panels?
Here, right here.
About
1,700. Oh,
1,711.
wow. Okay. Wow.
Where is
Over
that?
there.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
see that.
1,711.
And 10% of our
Is
manufacturing.
that like at the manufacturing?
It's you can actually, if you come right, if you stand exactly where I am right now, you'll see one of them.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're all on the roof there and
Yeah,
stuff.
I saw them outside.
And one of the cool things about living here in Utah is that we have so many clear days, and even with the solar panels, it offsets quite a bit of the power that's
This is
used.
perfect for us. I think.
Yeah, the West is
Yeah.
perfect for this stuff. I've been on the roof a couple of times. I've done stories for our internal USANAverse, which is an employee-based website for this stuff. And it is nuts when you have that reflective rubber surface on there, radiating heat and light, even in the summer, with the lights. And then the dude who used to run the program, I forget his name, he's in his office because it's down in manufacturing. He's like, this is displaying this solar energy in there. It's a manufacturing machines as well. So we're actually really offsetting the cost of even doing that. Currently, there's a new dude, pardon me, the same dude, there's a gentleman, his name is Donald Cherry. He's running our sustainability program. One of the things we're talking about as a company, a lot is about what do we do with our recycling and our carbon footprint. And a lot of the products that we do manufacture, they do come in, everything's recyclable, but it seems like you're talking at the highest levels about how to make it even more recyclable. Like how do you reuse the bottles? Maybe we go to a glass bottle and have the packets sent there and you refill them into there. How are ways that we can just make the carbon footprint that we're putting through just a smidge lower than it currently is? And making sure that we're environmentally conscious is something that everybody from the very top to the bottom in this company, it's something we talk about in person. it goes into people being literally shamed by not putting their Coke can in the recycling bin. You know, it's just something everybody here is sort of on board with. And the bigger stuff, I didn't know about forgive me, I did not know about the solar wind program. That's new to me. But I just know from the highest levels that people are totally down with making sure that we offset a lot of the stuff that we're putting into the atmosphere. And the other thing too is, like, I know it's a beautiful day out here, but in the middle of the winter, Salt Lake City has horrific inversion. And it's because we have this beautiful mountainscape, and then we have our Salt Lake, which is right that way. Salt Lake is that way. You can't quite see it over the parking lot there. But as
About like a 20-minute drive from
20-minute drive, yeah. So, and it's the Salt Lake itself. What it does is that we have this living in this bowl, and how this inversion takes where the pollution kicks down, and so you can actually see it and smell it. And there's times that we have worse air quality even in places like Beijing. I'm making fun of Beijing because Beijing has horrible air quality. But all this being said, it's like everybody who works here is very conscious about how important good air quality is, and that we're encouraged to ride our bikes to work, take public transportation. You know, it's a way of just offsetting that junk that we put into the air.
Well, something cool that we have out there is the electrical charging stations.
Electrical charging stations, yeah. And so it really is part of the company culture. It's not BS. Like, some things people do are BS, and this is like a legit thing that people really talk about.
Like, it's amazing how, like, the air, you know, you will notice it. Like Arizona, the air quality is also good.
Well, what was crazy is during the pandemic, when everything shut down, about May of 2020, everybody's working remotely and never less people are driving. When you walked outside your front porch, tell me, did not Salt Lake City seem different?
Completely, like, you could breathe, because I have really bad asthma too, so when the inversion gets stuck in here, like you said, we're in a bowl, you know, and so when the inversion comes in, it just doesn't go out until it rains.
Yeah.
And then when people were driving, it was crystal clear. It's the craziest thing. I had bad vision, and it was clear, you know. So where are we going now? To the gym?
To the gym, yeah.
Awesome.
Let's go work out.
Let's go pump some iron.
Oh my God.
Great salt checks for that. So if you
And that's what I want to do. When I can get into the gym, the only thing is mine is always
Yeah, USANA have a gym for all the workers.
So this is something independent of working for USANA. This is something that I'm proud of that we do here, is that we have a core mission values, and they're broken into 4 different areas. It's health, community, integrity, and excellence. And we have the banners up on the wall there. It basically breaks down everything that USANA represents. You know, it's like we're a health company, you know, based trying to get people to live a healthier, you know, more enriched life. Communities, like, we like to give back, like with the foundation, as well as participating in our community, participating in that. Excellence goes into everything that we do. We want to make sure that
Everything.
you know, it's just at the highest level, and that, you know, we're above reproach. And of course, integrity is something which is, like, a lot of people say it, but it does, they don't walk the walk a lot of the times, you know. And so Kevin Guess, who used to be our CEO, he just stepped down literally June 30th. So July 1st, Jim Brown took over. Kevin's been with the company for like 22 years and stuff. But there's a story in Kevin's book called All the Right Reasons, and I've been lucky enough to podcast with him, talk about it, specifically this one thing. So it's like 7-8 years ago, they got a shipment of this stuff that came in. It was for the Nutri-Mill product, you know, the shakes that we would have and stuff. And as it came into the quality assurance, it tested like at minimum was like 80%, and this thing came in at like 79%. Whatever the, you know, like, whatever the measurement was. And, you know, nothing's 100%. We all know that. But, you know, but it was like 80%. It came in just like a degree underneath it. It was 79. It was not 80. So Kevin ended up taking and chucking $50,000 worth of stuff because, you know, to the chagrin of the shareholders. But that's just the kind of thing that Kevin did. And that's that mindset that everybody here is kind of encouraged to participate with, that we're accountable to one another. We act with integrity. We act with respect. And part of the thing that we try to do is that, you know, not just when the associates, you know, when the associates are in the building and we're trying to celebrate and party with you guys, it's really cool. But when you guys aren't here, we still talk about you the same way. You know, it's like we treat you guys the way I hope you want to be treated, and that's a big component of this. And we talk about these 4 core values all the time. And the cool thing is that they've been batting around the idea of adding a 5th one, and I think this one's awesome, is fun. They literally
Yes.
want to start a tab that just says fun as it being a core value, you know?
Yeah, it has to be fun.
You know, and so I like the fact that they have, you know, a well-rounded sense of stuff. Part of it is we have our gym here, obviously it's open, but
Awesome. So when do you like to have a gym?
whatever.
4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
I like 3 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's my time. Basketball courts open. They play on Tuesdays. I play. I'm not very good.
At least you play.
Yeah, I'm not very good though. My knees are not good. I used to play really well.
Take a pause.
I used to be really good, and now I'm old and slow. But anyway, we're gonna head down here now, right?
Well, one thing I want to touch base on
Oh.
is USANA Care.
Oh, please. I'm glad you brought
So
that up.
USANA Care is really awesome. You know how you can go to like urgent care, instant care, stuff like that. We have an on-site kind of like an urgent care where us as employees we can go to it. It's USANA Care. It's just in the shipping parking lot, and they provide like X-rays, blood work, just you know the minor things that you can get at urgent care. We can get on-site from an actual physician, and it's awesome.
Yeah, super easy.
Trust me.
No, Laura's absolutely right on that.
And yeah, we can, I can bring my daughter there. She has a home. It's awesome. Yeah. My daughter, she likes the basketball court too. She thinks it's so fun.
This is the, is this, I know, but isn't it we're on the other side? Are these a finished product or?
So this is a lot of different stuff, and so I don't know for certain, but a lot of the blue barrels over the 55-gallon drums, those are either finished pressed tabs or they're raw material. Those are, so I don't know which is which. We'd have to go look at. And a lot of the stuff is just some of the products. But what's really cool about this is that this is just one of two of the warehouses. One of the two of the warehouses, and so you just understand the scale and scope of this entire facility. Manufacturing is that way. Am I right? We're not going to go there, but is it?
I thought it was in the, because we were at the
I
manufacturing
thought
this morning.
manufacturing. Maybe it's. I'm a little turned
I think
around.
it must be on the other side because
That's
we
right.
opened.
Oh wait,
yeah.
it's-
Because we opened it and we
Yeah,
saw
you're right.
all this.
No, there's another warehouse on the other side. That's what. Yeah.
I've never done the manufacturing course, so I don't know.
Anywho, I think we just want to show off our big warehouse.
My favorite, I think that's so hilarious, are the skeletons over there. What are those? They're waiting for free shipping in Canada. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
But how is the other warehouse as big as this or the same size?
It's a little bigger.
Bigger? Wow.
I think it's like the same size as this one. And you can kind of see over to the left and other sides.
So when is this in operation? Like when?
So during the middle of the week, this place is a buzz of activity. Shipping is that side, right?
That is that.
So if you go down the end of this hall and you go to the right, we're not going to be able to see that. That's where the shipping facility is, and then they've got a huge team of people there packing things up, and they're busy. That's a very busy team.
Oh yeah, elite. Good job. Congratulations.
I'm going to point this out. I think USANA is rad, except this one I've never understood. Behind that door is the yoga studio. So if you open up that door from the inside, you're falling 20 feet to your death.
Yeah.
So don't ask me this one. So all the other stuff I said about excellence and integrity and whatnot, forget about that when I talk about that one door. I've never understood how they have this death door set up there. And it's triple chained on the other side. Anyway, that we need to work on. That's a USANA problem for the future. All right, so we're going down this way. We're walking, we're talking. We're having fun. Hello, everybody. You guys doing? Cool, y'all. So we're gonna head down the stairs right around here.
I think I know where to go.
You know what? Hold on one second. Don't go down. One second.
I'm just sitting here.
All right. All right, let's go down the stairs. We're gonna go down here. Hi. Hello. I'm good. This is my friends from Canada.
Welcome.
Welcome. So this is the part of the tour where I'm going to give it over to Laura, and I'm going to film you guys while this is happening. What do we got going on here?
This one is for the raw material
Okay.
for mix it for making compression pills.
Okay.
Yeah. That one is minerals, vitamins, beta carotene, curcumin, a lot of things. Vitamin B. And when I starting the process, is scan the label, mix all of one. Is okay. Mix it, and I go pass for this machine. And this machine is mix it, double blending. When it's done, just put in the sack and go pass for the other.
Okay, I go there.
The other machine is compression machine. You know what is that?
That's the pill maker, right? That's where they compress it.
The press. There's 10,000 pounds of pressure.
There is a really big, yeah, goes to the,
That's cool.
yeah. Just for demonstration.
Yeah.
Just for demonstration.
So this is a really good example of,
Whoa. This
you
is
know when
really
sometimes
good.
you'll notice color variations in your tablets? It's super natural. So depending on when ingredients were harvested, depending on where they came from, a lot of times your raw ingredients, because we don't add any natural color fillers, they'll look a little bit different. So sometimes we get calls on the customer service line saying like, oh, well, my core minerals are a little bit yellower than they were last time, and that is natural. So this is an example of color variations. Like these are both Vision X.
Cool. What is this?
So this is an example of color variation where depending on like when ingredients are harvested, where they're harvested from, different areas create different colors and growth and stuff like that. And so yeah, sometimes your tablets are gonna look a little different and it's natural, yeah.
So it's like Precosa right there, right?
Which one?
That's Precosa there. the
Yeah,
yellow.
that's Procosa.
Yeah, it's Precosa there.
And then so that's Vision X, those are Proflavanol C200.
Yeah, that's Proflavanol.
That's episode.
That's cool. Sorry, I don't know everything on this tour.
So up about in the sustainability, you guys can take a picture of this if you guys want to read it. There's a lot of cool stats here. But something that's really cool for me is because of the 20% reduction in waste sent to the landfills, that's the equivalent of 435,266 bottles saved from the landfills annually.
Holy smokes.
Just from making like if you've noticed, our Pure Rest bottle is immensely smaller. These are examples of how we've minimized our bottles throughout the years, and yeah, just by minimizing the size, that's how many bottles we've saved from throwing in the landfills.
Wow.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you guys want to walk around and take pictures, and I'll take pictures of you guys. So I wish that the carpet wasn't on here. I'd love